Okay, we're on Daf Tet Amud Aleph, 9a, right at the top of the Mishnah. So the Mishnah opens, Kenidre Reshaim Nadar. A person says, we're going to see the Ran, this is talking about Yadot, this is talking about incomplete Nedarim. The person says, I want to be like a Neder of the Reshaim. So, benazir ube korban ube shavua, for a case of nazir, I want to be like a neder reshaim to be a nazir. I want to be like I want to do like the neder of the reshaim for this animal to be a korban, or shavua neder reshaim, that I'm making a shavua on this thing, that I'm not going to do this, or that I will do this. So it works. And let's just read out the Mishnah. Can you direct sharim? A person says, I want to do like a neder of those that are kosher. Lo amar klum. No, as if he said nothing. So I want to be like Nazir, and I want to make this neder like those that are people that are kosher. No, it doesn't work. That sounds like the opposite type of thing over here. Like, and the last thing, kenid votam, but like the donations of the ksherim nadar. Benazir be korban. It works for Nazir and korban, not for Shavua. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. Let's start with the Ran. There'll be a lot of Ran learning today. Short Gemara, but we're going to do all the Rans. Okay. So, right on the left side, Matnitin kenidre reshaim nadar benazir b'korban b'shavua. Hach matnitin. This Mishnah, nami pirusha de yadoti, is also an explanation to yadot, to the incomplete types of nedarim. Umefarshin b'gemara dach kamar, and it's explained in the Gemara. This is what's meant over here. Dim amar kenidre reshaim hareni. He uses that word hareni. Like the Nedarim of Reshaim, I am. Ve'ayan Nazir over lefanav. And at that exact moment that he said that, there was a Nazir passing by him. Because, what did he say? He didn't really say anything. He said, like the Nedarim of Reshaim, I am. You are what? But at that time, a Nazir walked by. So, I am is going on that Nazir. Harehu Nazir. He is now Nazir.
You have an example for Neder Rasham?
Yeah, we're going to explain what the Rasham and Kasher is. We're going to get there. But a guy says, so setting up the case, so this case is Yadot, incomplete Nedarim, and the guy says, Kenidre Reshaim Hareni. I am like the Nedarim of Reshaim. And a Nazir walks by at that moment, then it connects and he's a Nazir. Vechen im amar kenidre reshaim alai. So too with the word alai, we're going to see in the Gemara that it says these three types of wording in the third one and the second. So the person says, like the nedarim of reshaim are on me. On me is to do something. On me what? Chayav korban. He's chayav a korban. The word alai is for korban. Umistavra nami, and it makes sense as well that the case is the davaka shayta behema munachad lefanav, that there's an animal in front of him. The Nedarim Hashem, I am on me what? No, there's an animal here, and therefore you're making an eder. That means you're taking this animal and making it into a korban. V'chen nami, so too, im amar kenidre reshaim hemenu. Nedarim of reshaim, like from it hemenu. That's a third type of word that you use to lock in. And so what is it? Shelo ochal, that I'm not going to eat. And there's a bread in front of him. So that's what it's going on, even though you didn't say the word, I'm not going to eat this bread straight. You just said, I'm like the Nedarim of Rishayim Hemenu, from it, that it means that I'm not going to eat what's in front of me. Harehu b'shvua shelo yochadenu. He is now in the category, he's now accomplished the shavua, that he's not going to allow to eat it. Umechayev b'chol hani. And he's chayav in all these cases. He's obligated. It locks in. Ki amar kenidir Reshaim. That he said, like Nedarim of Reshaim. What is this? Sharei Reshaim darkam lidor bechol elu. The Reshaim it's their derech to make a neder in all these cases: Nazir, Korban, and Shavua. Umipene, we'll explain further. Umipene, because she'en ra'ui la'asot ken, since you're not supposed to do this, kari lehu neder reshaim. It's called nedarim reshaim. She'arei reshaim him le'oto davar. They're reshaim for that thing. Kenir bena. That's what it seems to me. Meaning like this: when it says nedarim of reshaim, it doesn't mean like a wicked guy, a guy who's not shomer, that's not what the rasha over here that we're referring to. But it's a rasha and referring to nedarim. That we're going to see that really tzaddikim, they want to stay away from nedarim because they don't want to violate nedarim. So, but people that make a neder, I make a neder, I'm going to be a nazir. I make a neder, this is going to be a korban. I make a neder, I'm not going to eat this. So, it's really frowned upon to do nedarim because you're going to lock yourself in and you might violate it. So, but those that do those nedarim are called a rasha for nedarim. Like a person could be a tzaddik when it comes to chesed, a tzaddik when it comes to tzedakah, a rasha when it comes to kashrut, a tzaddik when it comes to tefillin, a rasha when it comes to tzitzit. I mean, like this, so different things, right? So for here it's nedarim. So when the nedarim, that a guy is loose or he makes a lot of nedarim, nazir, nedarim or korban or shavua, person is loose like that, then they're called a rasha for that because really it's not supposed to be. We're going to see more in the next one with the talks about kshirim. So therefore, if a person says, "I'm not usually a guy that makes nedarim, but I'm going to make a neder right now," like the nedarim of reshaim that always make nedarim, alai on me. Nedarim reshaim alai, and the animals in front of him.
So these are people that they do stam nedarim like.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so it's nedarim people. Yeah, that's so. They're called rishaim leoto davar for neder that they're lenient in making nedarim. They're loose with their mouth and making nedarim, but which could
people giving
a lot of promises, and then they could get stuck by not fulfilling it.
Doesn't mean they're really.
So that's not really in general, but gadol rasha, like a wicked person or whatever it is. In that concept. So a person says, I want to do a neder. I'm not usually a rasha guy or whatever it is, but I want to do a neder like the Reshaim when it comes to nedarim for Nazir, Korban, and Shavua, and it works. Let's continue in the Ran. Kenidrik Ksherim, but nedarim Ksherim, Alpha Gav, the Amar Hareni, Alai Hemenu, even though the person did say, he said, I want to do a neder of Ksherim, Hareni, and there's a Nazir there. Or alai, and there was a korban, there's an animal there, or hemenu, and there was a piece of bread there to asur it. V'haya nazir o behema o kikar lefanav lo amar klum. He didn't say anything. It doesn't count. It's not considered a neder. Why? Sharei en kshirim nodrim, shen reshaim lasot ken. Kshirim don't. They're not noder. They're not allowed to do so. I think they're not allowed to do. Meaning they don't allow themselves to do so. Because they're ksherim, they're kosher people, they don't want to get into issues with nedarim. The huadinamin, so too, im amar kenidvat reshaim alai lo amar klu. Now, so we're going to see there's a difference between a neder and a nedava. Neder is I'm obligating myself. Nedava is a donation. So we're going to see that it's the opposite. Reshaim for neder, like a neder, I'm not going to do this. A neder, so the people that are easy with that are like rasha for neder. Tzaddikim, no, don't say neder. Tzaddikim, though, they do nedava, they're generous, they do a nedava, they do a donation. Reshaim don't, they're not generous, they don't do nedava. So it works in the opposite. Kasher for nedava and reshaim, not going to work for nedava. That's what we're going to get into right now. But what namin, so too. Imam kenidvat reshaim alai. Let's say there's an animal in front of him. He says, I'm going to donate this like the Reshaim do. Reshaim don't donate animals. So, therefore, it's not going to work. But if kenidvat ksherim, that is going to work. So, v'wadinami, imam kenidvat Reshaim alai, lo amar klum. Lefi she'en reshaim nodvim. So you see here, there's two brackets. The circle brackets are always omitted in Gemara, and square brackets are always said. So it didn't say she'en reshaim tovim. No, that's not. There could be some that are tov, and we're talking about here reshaim regarding Nazir. So it's not like they're bad people. That's erased, but nodvim, in general nodvim. והוא דינמי, אם אמר כן נדבת רשעים עליי, לא אמר כלום, לפי שאין רשעים נודבים. שאם הם נודבים, אינם רשעים לאותו דבר. If they're donors, they're not rasha to that concept. And that's what's spoken out in the Tosefta. Okay, so Nedarim of Reshaim would work because they say Nedarim. So you want to put yourself in with like people that say Nedarim. You've now they say Nedarim. You want to be like Kshirim, but how could a Neder go with Kshirim? Kshirim don't use Nedarim. So what you say is not going to work. And Nedava is going to be opposite. Nedava can Nidvat Kshirim alai, that works. Then you owe that korban and animals there. Can Nidvat Rishaim? No, Rishaim are not. They don't do Nedavot. So now let's read the Mishnah again. Then we'll go to the next round. Can Nidvat Rishaim Nadar Benazir Korban V'Shavua. It works for Nazir Korban and Shavua. Can Nidrik Kshirim Lomar Klum. It's nothing. Nedarim Kshirim. Kenidvotam, like the Nedava of Kshirim, Nadar, he did Nadir, Ben Nazir Korban. It works for Nazir Korban and not Shavua. Nedava, so Nedava Korban we understand. How does Nedava of Nazir work? That's we have to figure that out. And that's the Rad's going to address. You're a Nazir, you're a Nazir. With Nedava of Nazir. And why doesn't it work with Shavua? Let's see the next run. Kenidvotam, Nadar, Nazir Korban. Shareh. Kshirim mitnadvim hem b'korban u'banezirut and nezirut. We'll see what he's going to explain. Hilkach therefore, ki amar hareni, if he says hareni, knidvat kshirim hareni, ve'aya nazir over lefanav, hareni nazir. Ve'chi amar alai, he says knidvat kshirim alai, not nedarim kshirim, because kshirim don't make nedarim. Nidvat Kesherim alai is on me, and there's an animal there. It's as if he said this is a korban nedava, and it works. So now he's addressing why shvua not count for a nedava of ksherim for shvua. Ava b'shvua lo mechayev. Afilo yakikar munach lefanav. Even if there was a bread in front of him, it doesn't mean that he now cannot eat it. Why? And he said the word himenu, which is from it, like from it I'm distancing. Lefi she'en haksherim nishbain leolam. Ksherim, this I underline because it's like a strong statement. Ksherim don't swear at all. They don't swear. So even for a nedava, they don't swear. Let's see what this means. Even though we said earlier, just on the page earlier, that people, they say things to make themselves, like they say, like I swear I'm going to put on tefillin today. So we said that to hasten himself to do the mitzvah and to really, confirm for himself. What do you mean? Hashem said you have to put on tefillin. What are you adding? No, I'm adding that I want to really do it. I have a struggle with it. I really want to do it. So that's a good thing, no? So it says,
But is that a neder? Because he says he wants to do it.
No, a shavua. Like a shavua that I'm going to do it. A shavua that I'm going to do tefillin. Okay. You're already.
If you say if you want to do it,
yeah.
You can want it as much as you want to. Don't do it.
Yeah, but you see here, that's why because I want to do it, I make a shavua to lock myself in.
Okay.
Right. So he said before that's good because it enhances your quickness to do it.
But the Bli Neder is not part of this, right?
Well, if you say Bli Neder, then yeah, it's all on Bli Neder. So it's all. But this is no. You make a shavua, you're gonna do it, right? So he said, "Hey, you make a shavua. First of all, you're already commanded from Hashem." He said, "No, this is a person that he knows he's commanded, but he has a struggle with it. So he wants to hasten himself and really, really make sure he does it. So he makes a shavua about it. So people do make shavuas. So says the Ran. Again, the top wide line of the middle-sized line, the first line. Even though we said earlier that people hasten themselves and they swear ledvar mitzvah. So that is for a dvar mitzvah. Hahi shavua lo mikri nedava. That type of shiv was not called a donation type. Because they're obligated to do the mitzvah. So for a shavua of mitzvah, that's okay. The people do swear to make sure that they do the mitzvah. But other types of swears not for mitzvah, they don't do.
If you do too much of swears, even for mitzvah, doesn't it call label under the Rishaim?
Under Rishaim?
Would you say?
It's a good question. I wouldn't think so. It seems like for mitzvah, it's like okay, like but mitzvah is different. But you're right, maybe if you get used to it, then you could already expand it to other things.
Maybe.
But
no, plus I don't agree because most of the time the Nedarim should be about the mitzvah. Like I don't know if it's going to be another if you say, I will go to study math today.
No, that's not mitzvah to study math.
Yeah, so is it a neder if you say that?
Oh, but if you say I promise or I.
Okay, I promise I'll study math today. Is that a neder?
I think so.
Yeah.
In a certain way.
Okay, so it's a neder.
Promise.
But like, if the things that you promise like are usually either like about mitzvot or like some work kind of stuff.
No, if that's not a mitzvah, so that's where people are loose with it. But yeah, but if it's for a mitzvah, nishbaim lezares it to himself. So the truth is, you could say, well, nazir is also mitzvah, korban is also mitzvah, but it seems like those are not mitzvot that you're chayav to. You're not chayav to be a nazir, and in this case, you're not chayav to bring the korban. Meaning, if a person was already chayav to bring a korban, he already owed a korban, and then he says, "I'm swearing I'm bringing a korban." Just said, okay, that would fall into the category of lezeruzin avshot, like he's excited, making sure. But if not, then
for kumra things kind of
then no,
you shouldn't be making it.
Yeah, but for chiyuv things, then you're okay. Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So this explains why the last words of the Mishnah, "Kenidvotam nadar v'nazir b'korban," when he says the nedava of ksherim, it works for nazir and korban, not shavua, because in general we're not supposed to do a shavua. Ve'ika lemedak. Third line down in the middle-sized lines. Hi, George. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Baruch. Take a seat.
We're gonna put this away.
Yeah. Ve'ika lemedak. And we could have a diuk, we could infer from here. Hare nedava ena ela beomer hare zu. V'neder behare alai. There's a famous differentiation between a neder and a shevu and a nedava. That nedava is this animal I'm donating to the Beit HaMikdash, let's say. The neder behare alai. Neder is I owe a korban. So the chiluk zeh. So I'll explain what's the difference. The difference is if I say this animal is for a korban and then the animal dies, then that's it. It's done.
That's on the animal.
It's on the animal. But if I say I have to bring a korban,
That's on me.
then it's on me. So if the animal dies, I still have to bring a korban. So nedava is usually I'm donating this. If the thing gets lost, whatever, okay, it got lost. What can I do? But if it's I'm making a neder, then it's on me. Okay. V'chiluk zeh lete ela b'nedarim de korbanot. This type of difference is by neder of korbanot. You could say a nedava of korban or a neder of korban. Ava b'nezirut, my neder or my nedava shaychi be. What is the connection between a neder and nedava of nazir? Hare'eno ela b'inyan echad. It's the same type of thing. At the end of the day, you're a nazir. Hey George, how are you? So we're talking about Masechet Nedarim, a lot of different types of swearing. So we're in the thick of something, but this last point here is, the concept of a nazir. Nazir is a person says, I want to refrain from eating wine, I want to be a nazir.
Right.
So we're talking that there's a concept that you could be a donation nazir. So usually it's a swearing of being a nazir. I swear that I'm going to be a nazir, but I want to donate to be a nazir. How do you become a nazir through a nedava? So that's what we're about to explain. Nira be'enai, it seems like in my eyes, the neder pirusho, the explanation of the word neder is davar she'eno ba legamre b'nidvat halev, something that doesn't come completely from the donation of my heart. Meaning, I'm not so complete with it, but I make a neder to lock myself in. Like, I don't really want to do this fully, but I make a neder, and nedava is from the generosity of my heart. I want to make a nedava, I'm fully complete with that. I make a nedava to donate this. Wow, I'm fully complete with that nedava. I make a neder to do this. I'm like 90% there, but the other 10%, I don't necessarily want to, but I'm going to obligate myself to do it. For nedava pirusho, what's the meaning of the word nedava? This is like a translation of neder and nedava. Neder is you're not fully complete with it in your heart. Nedava pirusho ma she'adam noder yoter b'nidvat nafsho u'shema'asav yoter retzuim. And nedava is that a person he promises to do this more with that generosity of his soul, and that his actions are more wanted, like he wants to do this. And therefore, Amrina the neder hu hare alai, and neder this is on me to do. The fisheno midadev legamre, because he doesn't really don't want to donate it fully. Kevan shelo hifrisho achshav, because you didn't separate it now. Meaning, if I wanted to really donate something fully, I would go to my barn and get an animal right now and say, this is for the Bet HaMikdash. So that's like a nedava. But if I say, I'm going to bring a korban, I promise. Well, you didn't go to your barn yet, you didn't this, you didn't, right? So it's still another step before you go. But if you really want to do from your full heart of nedava, say, this is a korban. So that you've already accomplished. You've already made that this is a korban. But if I say, it's on me, so okay, now wait till you get it. You know what I mean? Go to the barn, go to this. It's still a step removed. Nedava hu be'omer harezu. This is a korban. Lefi shemitnadev nidro yoter ratzui. V'kivan shezehu pirusham shel neder u'nedava. Since this is the explanation of neder and nedava, af benazir. Even by Nazir, you could find this difference of Neder and Nedava. Even though the oath of a Nazir is the same type of thing, I want to be a Nedava of Nazir or be a Neder of Nazir, it's the same rules, as opposed to, as we explained, by a Korban. When I say Nedava of Korban, if that Korban dies, I'm not obligated anymore. But if I say, I'm bringing a Korban, I'm still obligated. There's a difference between Korban. There's no difference in Nazir. But אף על פי שאין הנדר של נזירות, אלא בעניין אחד, מי שהכוונה שלו רצויה יותר, קרוי נזירותו נדבה. A person that really wants to be a nazir, and he's really doing it for the right reasons, his nazirut is called a nedava. ומי שאינה רצויה כל כך, קרוי נדר. And a person that doesn't really want to be a nazir, it's called a neder. והרשעים, כשנודרים בנזיר, אין כוונתם רצויה לגמרי. But a rasha that makes a neder by nazir, his kavanah isn't fully complete. אבל הכשרים, the people that are kosher, מתוך שכוונתם שלמה, since the kavanah is shalem, ורצויה, and the proper thing, ואין נזירותם שום נדנוד עבירה, and their nazir is not even a speck of avera. Karui Nazirutam Nedava. Their Nazir is called a donation, that they really want to be a Nazir. And that's what we're going to say in the Gemara. We find a Nedava of Nazirut Kishimon HaTzadik. Like Shimon HaTzadik, and that's on Tetamud Bet. We're going to see a story. And we're going to explain. So, this is a type of Nedava Nazir. You can imagine a Tzaddik that he wants to do all the mitzvot of the Torah. He says, look, I want to do the mitzvah of Nazir to Hashem had put it in his Torah. There's laws about it. I want to do it to fulfill all the 630 mitzvot. So that's like a nedava of a Nazir. So that's even a higher level. So therefore, we could find the Davar Nazir. Therefore, when a person, back to the Mishnah, person says, Kenidvotam, I want to do like a donation of the Ksherim, it works for Nazir and for Kurban. Okay, Gemara. Vidilma, third line down. Vidilma hachi ka'amar. And maybe this is what the Mishnah means. Kenidre reshaim lo nadarna. When a person says, I want to make a neder like the reshaim, maybe it means like I don't want to be like them. Kenidre reshaim lo nadar, because Rasha is bad. Like I don't want to donate. I don't want to make a neder like reshaim. Maybe that's what it means. Amar Shmuel, says Shmuel, Beomer, Kenidre reshaim hareni, alai, vehemenu. Basically, the Gemara, we already saw this explanation in the Ran, but the Gemara is speaking it out. Meaning, when a guy just says, so the Gemara is thinking, when a person just says, Kenidre reshaim, I mean, you don't want to be like a Rasha. Says Shmuel, no, what it means is, Kenidre reshaim, and you say, hareni, I am, and there's a Nazir walking by. Alai, it's on me, and there's an animal in front of you. Vehemenu, and from it, meaning I'm making a shivua from this item, and there's a bread in front of you, then you're not going to eat it. That's what the Gemara says now. Hainu benezirut, hareni benezirut, alai bekorban, hemenu b'shivua. So Shmuel says that we're talking about a case here, you're adding these words after you say the words Kenidre reshaim. So says the Gemara. Now the Gemara is going to explain this further, which we took it for granted already in the Ran. I already explained it out. So says the Gemara, Hareni Nezirut. If you want to say Hareni is Nazir, Dilma Hareni b'Ta'anit. Maybe when you say the word Hareni, it's referring to a fast. Meaning the words, all you said were Kenidre Reshaim Hareni. Like the promises of Reshaim, I am. You are what? You're a Nazir. Hareni means Nazir. Maybe it means you are taking upon yourself to fast. Maybe Ta'anit Kamar. Amar Shmuel Kshaya Nazir over lefanav. The case is that a Nazir was walking by in front of you. So when you said, like the Nedarim Rishaim, Hareni I am, no, the case was that there's a Nazir walking in front of you. So that's the context. So too, Hemenu Bishvua. Yeah. Hemenu just one second. I want to take a glance at the Run over here. Okay. Well, this one we're not going to do. He gets into a side point. Instead of hareni, let's say you said the word aha. Does that work? Does it not work? Okay. Side point. We're by the brackets. Alai bekorban, so we skip those words. Hemenu b'shvua. Hemenu, we said, is for shavua. Dilma hemenu de achila kamar. Maybe hemenu is to eat it, not to swear not to eat it. Maybe it means to eat it. So again, the case is here that you had a piece of bread in front of you, and you said kenidre reshaim hemenu. Like the nedarim of reshaim, hemenu. It is. It is what? It is, we thought, so that's a word of Shavua, that I'm not going to eat it. Maybe it means I am going to eat it. Amar Rava, says Rava, De'amar hemenu shelo ochel. You said it out. You spoke out the words that I'm not going to eat it. De'amar hemenu shelo ochel. Says the Gemara, Ihachi my lememra. Okay, so what are you teaching me? It's obvious. If I see there's a bread here, and I said, Kenidre reshaim, hemenu shelo ochel. Like the Nedarim reshaim, this thing I'm not going to eat. So it's not a yad anymore. What did you leave out that I say, oh, that's still considered like it's asur to eat? Well, you said everything. Says the Gemara, Ma'udetema halomafik shevua mipumeh. You might think at the end of the day you didn't say the word shevua. You said nedarim, nidre reshaim hemenu shelo ochel. Is that a shevua? Kamashmalan haden. It is a Shavua. So even though you didn't say the word Shavua, over here Nedarim, Yadot of these at this Nidre Reshaim, these type of Yadot, even though you said the words Hemenu Shelo Ochel, and there's a bread in front of you, that's considered a Shavua. You didn't say the word Shavua, and Ishba, you said Nidre Reshaim, Hemenu Shelo Ochel, then it works as it's a Shavua. Okay, let's read the Ram. Second line down in the wide lines, the widest of lines. V'dilma hemenu de'achil nakamar. Maybe when you said hemenu, it means I'm going to eat. Klomar, ve'kevan de'ika lememar dilma de'achil nakamar. That we say that maybe you meant I'm going to eat, as opposed to I'm not going to eat. Havelu yadayim she'en mochichot. Maybe these are yadayim she'en mochichot. Remember, we had a machloka before. We spoke about the word yadayim. Yadayim is someone knocking there. No, we'll go ahead. Yeah. Okay, so we're saying over here. Remember, we had when it came to yadayim, it's such a small lashon. It's not a full wording of an eder that sometimes we said it's en mochiach, like it could go either way. And if it could go either way, we had a machloket. Is that counted as a yad or not? I mean, if I have a yad, if I say a small word, but I know what that means exactly, then it catches on. But if it's not clear, then maybe it doesn't work. And Shmuel was that opinion, because that's what the Gemara says. So we're talking about da'achil nakamar havelu yadayim she'en mochichot usir l'Shmuel delo havyan yadayim. Shmuel's of the opinion that a yad wording, which is so small, and it's not mochiach, I don't know, is it this way or that way? Shmuel says it's out the window, it's nothing. So that's why it's always Shmuel over here talking, because he has to clarify that no, this is a yad that's mochiach. So that's why in our last question was hemenu. So what's hemenu? Maybe it means to eat, not to not eat. That's a Shmuel has to answer. So actually, Rava answers in this case. Yeah, Rava answers in this case. It was Shmuel earlier, right? Rava answers in this case. No, it means that shelo ochel. He actually said shelo ochel. And that's why in the earlier case was Hareni ben Nazirut. Maybe it's Tanit. It could be that way or that way. No, it says Shmuel. No. Haya Nazir over lefanav. Shmuel has to make it more clear, not vague, right? So that's if it's vague according to Shmuel, it's it's nothing there. That's why. Then that's what we rule. I mean, there's a little bet there. Like this whole thing is on the premise that there's a Nazir walking by, or there's an animal in front of you, or there's a bread in front of you, right? So that's how it works out. That the neder is even though it's a yad, and it's not mochiach. No, we're making it a case that it is more mochiach. That's what we did in this whole time. That there's a nazir in front of you, there's an animal in front of you, or there's a bread in front of you. And in the case of Shavua, maybe it means that you want to eat the bread. No, you actually said shelo ochel. Okay, we're going to stop over here at the two dots. So the next piece leads into the next Gemara. And we will continue this on Tuesday night. Not tomorrow night, but Tuesday night, 8:30. B'ezrat Hashem.
Are you changing it from Monday to Tuesday?
Just for this week.
Oh.
For this week.
So
Yeah.
the following week, right?
And the following week as well.
Sure.
Chazaku Baruch. Zev, Mr. Big Zer.
Thank you.
Chazaku Baruch. Shavua Tov. Chazaku Baruch. Sending the recording as well. Okay.
Sorry?
I'm sending the recording as well, just in case.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you. Bye.
Where's that?
Zev Zachatan.